Well, good morning, and welcome to the Morning Report. My name is Willie Lawson. The Morning Report is a production of FightBackMedia.com, FightBackMedia.com, and FightBackMediaTV.com. We are glad to be here on this Tuesday morning. It is a beautiful Tuesday morning. It's about, I don't know, probably about 85 degrees out now. The sun is shining. It's going to rain today because it always rains in Florida in the summertime, so it's easier to say it's going to rain. Even if it doesn't rain, you're going to be right more than you're wrong. So we'll see when it rains. We added some lighting. Can you tell? Am I washed out? I hope not. If I'm washed out, then you'll never see it because I'll handle it in post production. Wondershare is wonderful. All right. We did a short video yesterday about all the charges from the document trial for President Trump have been dismissed. That case is done, unless somebody wants to appeal it. But I don't think they will. Actually, wouldn't surprise me because they can't seem to stop Trump. They tried lawfare, they tried warfare, and the dude showed up to a hero's welcome at the RNC last night. But we have to look a little deeper into some other things. We've seen the attacks on Clarence Thomas lately. People want to impeach him. I mean, all sorts of stuff. Because all of what we've just seen has sort of led up to this. And especially this piece right here. This is an important piece. So on July 1st, 2024, the Supreme Court ruled that the U.S. presidents have immunity for official acts, with President Donald Trump being at the center of that case. In his concurrence of the majority opinion, all that means is that he wrote something down and said he agreed with majority opinion. Justice Thomas made the argument that the special counsel appointments could broadly be unconstitutional, but especially if they are not appointed by Congress. So here's what he says. It is difficult to see how the special counsel has an office established by law as required by the Constitution. When the Attorney General appoints the special counsel, he did not identify any statute or law that clearly creates such an office. Clarence wrote, now, none of these statutes cited by the Attorney General appears to create an office for the special counsel, and especially not one with the clarity typical of past statutes used for that purpose. Even if the special counsel has a valid office, questions remain as to whether the Attorney General filed that office in compliance with the Appointments Clause. For example, it must be determined whether the special counsel is a principal or an inferior officer. If the former, his appointment is invalid because the special counsel was not nominated by the president nor confirmed by the Senate, as principal officers must be. Okay? So if they're going to be the lead, they have to be appointed by the president, or they have to be confirmed by the Senate. You can't just say, hey, Bill, come in and do this. Can't do it. It's amazing what we find out. It's amazing what we learn if we pay attention. Even if he's an inferior officer, the Attorney General could appoint him without presidential nomination and senatorial confirmation only if Congress, by law, vested in the appointment the Attorney General as head of the department. Okay? So, the special counsel appointment is invalid unless a statute created by the special counsel's office and gave the Attorney General the power to fill it by law, whether the special counsel's office was established by law, is not a trifling technicality. If the Congress has not reached a consensus that a particular office should exist, then the executive lacks the power to unilaterally create it and then fill the office. So the president can't go, I want an office of kettle corn popcorn. Poof, that office, and poof, that office happens. No. The attorney general can't say, I want an office of decaf coffee and then appoint someone and then pay them. That can't happen. So with this happening, special counsel Jack Smith was appointed by the attorney general, Merrick Garland. Thank goodness he did not become a Supreme Court justice. Outside of that constitutional standard resulting in the U.S. District Judge Eileen Cannon dismiss the classified documents case against the former president. It shouldn't even happened. That's what you were saying, because of how the prosecutor the was appointed. This case should have never happened. So the whole thing was thrown out. The Monday after Donald Trump was shot, and then that night, which was last night because today is Tuesday, went to the Republican National Convention to accept his nomination for president. And oh, by the way, he announced his vice presidential candidate, which you've already known is J.D. Vance, senator from Ohio. Now, J.D. Vance, and early on was a big critic of Donald Trump. Had some, and you're going to see all that stuff on Twitter and on Facebook. Some of the things that he said early. But it is well known also that J.D. Vance came around, and when he started to see policies work. Just having this conversation with my wife, there were a lot of people who were really, including myself, was really unsure about a Trump presidency. Trump had given money and thrown a party for Harry Reid when Susan Engel, the Tea Party candidate, was running against him in Nevada. And the people that Trump hung out with, he gave money to Hillary Clinton's senatorial campaign. It didn't look like a thing. But the proof was in the pudding. Once policies started to flow. And it isn't like Trump hasn't been president for 4 years. Trump was president for 4 years already. So we've already seen how this is going. I mean, how this could work out. And the left is losing their minds like little girls, frankly. So they couldn't get Trump right away. So they were doing everything they could to make sure that they could get Clarence Thomas. Isn't it interesting? Isn't it interesting that who they went after in the Supreme Court was the only black male? They went after the only black male. Is it because he's married to a white woman? I would ask that question. I want that question answered. So why do you just have to go after the only black male? Because Justice Thomas is going to rule on the constructionist conservative side every single time, where you can't depend on Kavanaugh or Amy Coney Barrett or John Roberts every single time. But you know what? You can count on Justice Thomas, and you know what? They know that too. They know that too. So they went after him. It failed. They went after Trump. It's failing. I don't know how it's going to work out. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't. But what I do know is that right now, what we have to do, and I'm going to keep telling you this every time I see you, is to keep working. Is to keep working. Is to be like Scott Presler. Just keep signing people up to vote. Keep talking. Keep speaking the truth. Every day. Don't back down. Don't cower. Don't cower. Because I almost slipped into it. I almost did what my pastor does. Just open the door to the next topic. So you have especially if y'all in the black church. My pastor happens to be white Italian, so um, and he has trouble landing the plane. I love him. I love him to life, but he has trouble landing the plane. So one thing just slips right. The thing I'm doing now. Anyway, I got to get out of here, make room for somebody else. So until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We'll see you when we see you. Bye bye now.